Divorce is a legal process that ends a marriage between two people. It involves the termination or dissolution of a marital union. Now, cancelling the legal duties and responsibilities of marriage. This process can have a significant emotional, social, and financial implications for the individuals involved. Now, the high rate of divorce is a complex issue influenced by various factors including societal norms, individual values, economic conditions, and changes in the family structure. Now, in many societies, there have been a shift towards individualism where personal fulfillment and happiness are prioritized over traditional obligations. Now, this shift can lead to higher divorce rates as individuals seek to end marriages that no longer align with their personal goals and values. Now, additionally to this, factors like financial stress, lack of communication, infidelity, and unrealistic expectations can contribute to the breakdown of marriages. It is essential for individuals to communicate openly, seeking counseling when needed, and understanding the importance of sustaining a healthy marriage. Hello and welcome to Insight Today. I am Jumai Manson. Stay tuned. The program continues shortly.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Insight Today on Global Television. And I am not doing this alone. I have a colleague of mine on the musical affairs, an amazing individual, no other person than the one, the only, the amazing, the beautiful Amina Jibril.
Drum rolls, please.
How you doing, Amina? Good to have you on the program Insight Today.
Nice to have you too.
And it's great that we're going to be talking about the high rate of divorce. It's very important that we understand what the societal factor, how it contributes to the increasing divorce rates in modern society. Like we've heard that, you hear that some people, they just get married now in the next 2 months, it's over. And you hear that somebody has been married for 30 years, and the next week, you know, it's over. Some 2 weeks. I know Kim Kardashian, she got married in 2 weeks, and that was it. And then some you hear a week, and that was it. It's over.
It's alarming. I think the high rate of divorce is alarming, and I don't know who to call upon to look into such situations happening as regarding the divorce.
It's just unfortunate. I think, you know, from my intro, I learned a lot. I mean, I spoke about societal norms. I spoke about lack of communication,
finances,
infidelity.
there are a whole lot of reasons. But for instance, now the person who has spent almost 30 years, I mean, would you say there are no financial issues before 30 years? So what could have led to divorce after 30 years?
But I believe that some people can fall out of love.
Yes, truly, people fall out of love. But then, I think it's not enough to say you want to divorce, especially when there are children involved. So you have spent 30 years, you have to grown up children, and you're talking of divorce. I think it's not nice at all.
But you know what? A friend of mine said something. He said sometimes in marriage people have to endure a lot of things. I met a friend of mine who says
But
sometimes.
isn't that what marriage is about?
Sometimes, yeah, I think you are that you're supposed to say marriage is all about enjoying that process.
Yes,
Because
you
you're
enjoy,
married.
but while you enjoy,
Uh-huh.
you endure.
In what aspect do I need to endure?
Okay, for instance, like the financial issues now, I don't know, I don't think it lasts forever.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, so in that aspect, and then before you fall into the, let's put this picture that before you fall into the financial issues, there are times that you actually enjoyed the marriage. So at what point do you fall out of love and then the financial issues come in, and that's the main reason why you want to leave a marriage? Like, I feel it's not enough for me.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you say, when do you fall out of love? There's sometimes when people rush into marriage and you think you have found the
Because
right
of
person. Pressure, like what I spoke about
Yeah.
on Monday. Sometimes it's pressure. And then along the line, you just realize that you're not compatible with that individual. So sometimes there is a breach of communication. Most marriages suffer that. Most people do not sit down to discuss problems. You know how our gender, we might be angry about something. Our mood just tells the whole story. We might end up keeping mood faces, might end up, not being, just going into our shell. Some might even, it might become violent at some point. But the truth is, communication in marriage or any relationship is key. And we forget that. Maybe because there's so much societal norms that is ongoing, economic hardship. People are just thinking of how to feed from hand to mouth. People are thinking about fees, rent, a lot of things. And you just forget that there's something
for me,
missing.
I feel there's communication, but I feel we do not channel our communication to the right direction. Now you find out that most people on social media these days discuss their marital issues, and perhaps the husband doesn't even know this is where I'm faulted. So there's communication, but not to the right channel. That's in my opinion. It's not to the right channel.
But let's look at this now. How do you think? Let's look at our cultural differences influence the likelihood of divorce in different regions.
Yes, that could be inclusive, but before you got married to the person, you already know that this person is of this culture, and we have different ways of life. So I feel it's something you should have. How do I say it now? It should be something you input into your system. That, okay, I'm going to be with this person, and we have different cultures.
I wanted to say something. You know why I'm laughing?
Why?
Because we are evolving. Like now, I know that we are Africans. I always say it.
Exactly, the fact that we are Africans.
And then there is this mindset that in Africa, the man sits down and the woman goes into the kitchen, cooks the meals, serve her husband, give him, all the attention. But now, because we're evolving now, you see a man going to help the wife in the kitchen. In fact, taking the dishes when he's done eating.
Yes,
and you see that a lot. So these cultural differences, is it enough to cause a divorce? Is it enough? Like, seriously, even if we have different cultures, different upbringings, but is it enough sometimes?
In my opinion, again, I would say it's not enough to cause divorce. I don't know, but I think divorce is, if you allow me to go spiritual, I think it has to do with some kind of spirituality, because like I said, you are aware of this person's culture, and like you rightly said, there are men these days who even forget about the culture and they still do dishes, something that you hardly find people do before. But then you find men do all of these things. So in such a case, why would there be a divorce?
Sometimes, like I mentioned at the beginning, I said communication. We do not communicate enough. And the thing is, communication is key in any long-lasting relationship.
True.
But we do not communicate enough. I feel some men do not communicate, especially when it comes to infidelity. We know women are forgiving when it comes to issues like that. A woman can tell you, okay, please don't do it again. But when it comes to a man will tell you, that is the height of it. That's the straw that will break the camel's back. Immediately, I find you faulting in this aspect, we are done. But
can infidelity lead to divorce, really? And you say we are done.
We keep going back and forth when it comes to this divorce. Like I said, I don't know the right people to call, whether we say religious leaders, government, whoever.
We will get someone on Monday. She will throw in more light.
Should talk about things that lead to this divorce and how they could come in to help people that want to go into divorce or something like that. When you I don't know how to put what I'm about to say now. It's just in my head and I don't know how to put it. But I feel divorce is, like I said, it has to do with spirituality. And if you already know, and we said we are Africans, we already have that the men are in charge and all that. But then there's a way you could strike a balance and then you live your life happily. I mean, our parents were able to do
accepting the
that.
fact that a man can actually commit infidelity and you just leave. Is that what you were talking about?
No, okay, not like accepting. If I were to go
No, you know,
down
there are
that
some
lane-
women who live in that denial. They feel a man can, infidelity can happen, and as long as he does all that he needs to do when it comes to home care, taking care of the woman, taking care of the household, he can go on and do whatever he wants. But there are some women that will tell you, it's over.
Let's go into the religious aspects now. You see, for Islam, you already know that a man is entitled to four women.
Of course.
So in this case, now, you see him with another woman. You already know that religion permits him.
It's not infidelity when he's legally married to them, remember?
Before he marries them, he's going to see them.
Okay.
You would definitely see them. So would you now say, okay, because he wants to marry and then you know the religion permits you to do that, then you say you want a divorce because
But
of
the
that?
thing is, I might not really know that aspect, but I feel if he's going to marry them, instead of, playing the hanky-panky, he comes and he tells her that he's going to pick a second wife at that point, and then it's made official. Not the one you do behind the doors, and then it causes issues.
Yeah, but most of the times we know that they do it behind the door before they officially come to say, okay,
And
now
that
you
is
know
why
this
there are
is time
high
and
rates of
that's it.
divorce in society. All right, let's quickly go on a very quick break, and Insight Today continues shortly. Stay tuned. All right, you're welcome back from that very quick break. And yes, this is Insight Today on Global Television. And we're looking at the high rate of divorce in marriages when it comes to issues, when it comes to the expectations. It could be financial, it could be lack of communication and all of that. And Amina Jibril has broken it down in the way she understands it. She has gone spiritual when it comes to divorce and all of that. But I've gotten another individual in-house, of course, not the President, Ramsey Enoch Agbo, who is here, who will be throwing in more light when it comes to the high rates of divorce. Ramsey, hi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure having me on Insights Today again.
It's great to have you all the time. Always a pleasure to have you. Let's talk about the high rates of divorce. You know, there's, like I mentioned to Amina, a lot of people will just get married in 2 years and they're done. Some 2 weeks, 2 months, some 30, 40 years, and they tell you they're not compatible due to they're not compatible to be together and all of that. What do you think is the cause of high rates of divorce, aside financial, the expectations you are getting is not there, so on and so forth?
It's uncountable. I can't count it one after the other here. Number one, people don't know the difference between love and infatuation. It begins from there.
Wow.
Okay? People go into loving for different reasons. Then you get into marriage, the reason become a different ball game. Because marriage is different from courtship. You understand?
Right.
And during the period of courtship, a lot of people tend to overlook a lot of things.
True.
Then
Because they're in love?
You know, they said love is blind, but now love have like 4 eyes. Gone are the days when you say love is blind. Love is no longer blind, but come to talk about it. What about infatuation? Oh, he looks good. She looks beautiful. Men, look at the hot legs. Then by the time she starts giving birth, the legs start turning to something else. Wow, what a flat tummy. Hey, come on, I don't like women with flat tummy.
Oh my God.
Then when she starts giving birth,
No, I
what
like women with
happens?
flat tummies. When she starts giving birth, it becomes a pot belly.
It becomes, that's it.
Then how do you
So
handle it? You're not in love?
That's the love will start fading gradually because you actually got into that marriage for certain reasons.
Exactly.
Without forecasting, looking into the future, without asking questions, without reading books, without going for counseling. You understand? And that's just one aspect of it. I say there are so many of it.
So many aspects of
Then
it.
come to talk about the social media today. A lot of things people see on social media have contributed to a lot of divorce today.
Really?
Yes. And people think, I was saying something, I was saying something on one of my programs, was it yesterday or so? The things you see on social media are far different from what we have in reality.
Very true.
But a lot of people don't know this. Why are you not treating me like that woman I saw in the movie? That is a demonstration of something. But the peculiarity of these things to every individual differs. And some persons feel, well, I want to be treated the way he is being treated, the way she is being treated. What about the parties involved? Have you forgotten about their background, where they are coming from?
Very true.
Have you forgotten about their financial capacity? Have you forgotten about their intellectual ability?
Different traditions.
Different things play out.
Very
By the
true.
time you see these things not working the way they want it to go, and they begin to hear from their friends outside, from social media, the next thing is, I go leave this marriage. And before you know it, they are out. And somebody else will start telling them they can build bridges where there is no water. There is no water, there is nothing. Why are you building bridges?
Well, let me ask you a question, Ramsey. Is it possible that you can endure marriage instead of enjoying it at a point?
Well, see, this is what a lot of people don't know. There is no marriage on earth that does not have ups and downs.
Very true.
But your ability to jump over this pit is what matters. There is no perfect marriage on earth, irrespective of who is involved. But how you are able to have the understanding, the communication, how you are able to put 1, 2, 3 together to get over it, it's what matters. The most important thing is try to understand your spouse. Very important. most of the things that cause marriages and divorce today, problem in marriages and divorce today is misunderstanding.
Very true.
She's saying something as you are understanding it the other way because you have a perception already on ground. There are some couples that have a full list of the mistakes their spouses have made in the past. And if anything happened again, they begin to make references to things that have happened in the past. These are things that destroy the home.
And do you think unforgiveness plays a big role when it comes to divorce?
See, that's not a question to ask. If there, apart from marriage, everything on earth that man is involved in, if there is no unforgiveness, there are hitches in that thing, whatever it is. Not just in marriage. So marriage, for marriage, it is compulsory. Forgiveness is compulsory because nobody is a saint. Even God, did you know that in Genesis, he repented God that he even created man? So this thing is peculiar to humanity.
Now, let me say something now, aside communication, which I always say communication is key when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage, sitting down, talking about some certain things, your do's, your don'ts, especially when it comes to courtship. A lot of people make that mistake. They do not see the red flag. A man that slaps you at the slightest thing, he will not change when he gets married to you. He will not. He will still hit you in that marriage. He will become violent in that marriage because you have to correct it now or you let it go. Now, if you've tried all odds when it comes to trying to communicate, trying to understand with this person, trying to work through this marriage, when is the time that divorce is ripe and it's important to save one's life? When is divorce right?
Well, this is it. You talked about slapping. That's taken too far. There are tendencies, very hidden tendencies that a lot of people don't know. A nagging, a narcissist, that's one. That's a pointer that this person may slap me one day. Raising up of hand, not even slapping yet. Raising up of hand, okay? Wanting to, it's a sign. In courtship, some people will do it and they just laugh and the two of you laugh and jump over it. Go into marriage.
Your punching bag.
That's it.
A punching
so
bag.
These are signs. They are very minor, insignificant. See, there is nothing like, I will change her when I marry her. I will change him.
No.
Are you God?
No, you cannot.
So these are the things. Then your question now, back to your question. At one point, do you think divorce is necessary?
Yes.
Well, I don't pray for divorce in any marriage.
No.
But any marriage that becomes a threat to life, that you know, if I stay in this marriage for the next 1 week more, my life is going to be taken out of me, you just need to speak out.
And say,
go for counseling.
Very important.
Whatever comes out of that counseling, go with it. We know there shouldn't be third party in marriages, but when some situations are taken too far, especially when it becomes a threat to life, what do? Go for counseling. Possibly, if need be, you walk out of that marriage. If you know that, well, this man is not ready to repent, this woman is not ready to repent. Just yesterday or day before yesterday, I heard that a woman stabbed the husband just because of a minor quarrel. This is what we're talking about.
So it's better you just divorce than killing someone.
One day, she go stab you for head. You know, be back again.
Oh, my goodness. All right, now we have to wrap it up on the program Inside Today. Ramsey Enoch Agbo in the building.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We can't talk enough about this this particular topic, high rate of divorce in marriage. Like Ramsey has said it all. Communication is very important when it comes to marriage in order to avert divorce in the future. When it comes to understanding, and then that part of courtship, he cannot change when you marry him. If he has those characteristics and you're fighting hard for him to stop, it's better you call it quits now than to divorce in the future. Now remember, the high rate of divorce is influenced by a variety of factors such as societal norms, individual values, economic conditions, and changes in family structures. It is important for individuals to prioritize communication, Seek support when needed. That's where the third party comes in, right?
Yeah.
Your role models, people that have been married for a longer period of time, that understands the basics of marriage. And of course, you need to understand the significance of commitment in maintaining healthy and fulfilling marriages. By addressing these factors proactively, couples can work towards building a strong and resilient relationship. All right, now, thank you so much, Enoch Agbo. Thank you, Ramsey, for being a part of the program.
It's a pleasure having me on Insights today.
Of course, that's a wrap on the program. I am Jumai Manson. Make it a date on Monday for a new edition. Thank you all so much. Bye-bye.